So here's how I installed the external antenna for my Flow 8. It's that guy right there, and it's just one of these that screws on. I'm just going to take it apart quickly, and then you'll see you're going to need a few things. Obviously, a big star screwdriver for the sides, take off the side casings, and then a small star screwdriver for all these board screws and inside. You'll need a size 12 socket for the TRS inserts to get those out, and then it's always good to just have a tweezer if you need to get flex cables and ribbons off. So I'll take this apart and then we'll talk about it at various points. I realized afterwards that the original antenna is still connected at this point. When you take the top cover off, it shouldn't go to the left as I had done it on the video. It must go to the right because that's where the antenna sits. I do mention it later on in the video, but if you're following along in real time, be careful when you take the top cover off that you move it to the right, as close to the case and close to the board as possible, so that you don't pull the little cable that runs to the existing antenna. We are going to replace it, so if you damage it, that's okay, but I'm more worried about damage to the motherboard. So just take it off very carefully, not as I've done it in the video. So the top cover comes off just like that, nice and easy. The next thing you're going to do is we're going to remove this board. It's joined to the main motherboard by this connector over here, there. So once you've unscrewed from the back side, I'll show you now, these 5 screws there, or there's 5 nuts on there that you can take off. Then this board pops off, and then the Bluetooth aerial's just underneath there. The original is here, and that's the cable that I've just taped off. I see it's come loose, but I did tape it to the side here just to keep it out the way, but it's not going to cause any trouble if you leave it like that. If you're never going to use it again and you are sure, you can just clip it, or you can desolder it there and leave the original antenna on there. Okay, let's flip over the board. That's a 6mm socket if you want, and the other one I took off for my antenna was an 8mm socket. Yeah. So we've got those 5 off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can flip this over again. Let's just move the bottom plate out the way. You can use a plectrum or anything to get underneath here if you are worried about it. You can use a lifter just to start separating that board. But it does come out quite easily if you just shimmy it little bit by little bit off. There you go. So it just comes off just like that. There's your bottom board there. So that's where it lines up. And this is the antenna. It literally clips off and clips on. Originally, obviously, your top chassis will still be connected to this. So as you come off here, lay it to the side, because that will still be there connected. So once you get that top board off, then that can unplug. But that's where you'll lay the top cover, the top chassis, when you're taking it apart, just so you don't break that cable. It'll be under the board there, clipped in. Cool. And then, yeah, you can just replace it straight up. Yeah, they're very easy to do. The hardest part, honestly, of that was to drill this hole. So I just lined it up here, made a mark so that the cable sits in between the output XLRs and the TRS, the phone's TRS. There seems to be a decent amount of space there, and then you preserve the Flow logo, whereas I've seen guys do it here, and then you lose the Flow logo. So either way, so this is quite soft steel, and so I drilled it on a piece of wood through, and then I still used a round file to soften it because there were some sharp edges. So yeah, once that's in, then it's easy. And then really it's a case of putting it back together. Just a word while I'm doing this, you just don't over tighten anything. If you're like really cranking it, you're bound to do damage. Even when you put the XLR connectors back to the chassis, just essentially just a little bit more than finger tight is more than adequate. Yeah. Yeah, so I like to just pull corners up first, just make sure everything's aligned. So pull in the output XLR and the input XLR, and then I'll put these screws in from the bottom here, and just make sure everything is nice and aligned before I tighten everything down. At this point, I'm still not tightening everything down super tight. I'm putting everything in, but I'm not cranking it beyond what my fingers would be able to do naturally. So normally, even before I get to this point, I'd usually switch it on. I'd put very minimal case screws in, so the 2 on the bottom side and maybe those 4, and then I'd test the console just to make sure that everything is working, that I haven't failed to do something, and then I'd put it together like this. Nice. And that's it. Hope that you found it helpful. The next step is to do the DC replacement. So next time I'll shoot a video of me doing the actual thing rather than just the post video.